Have you ever noticed how a leaf floats down a river? It doesn't fight the current. It doesn't struggle against the rocks. It simply flows, accepting whatever path the water takes it on. That leaf holds one of life's most profound secrets, a truth that could transform every aspect of your existence, whatever happens. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't care. That sounds cold, detached, maybe even irresponsible, but I want you to stay with me for a moment, because what I'm about to share isn't about becoming indifferent or numb to life. It's about discovering a kind of freedom that most people never experience. A freedom that exists right here, right now, waiting for you to claim it. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic. Your mind is racing with thoughts about being late, about the important meeting you might miss, about all the consequences that could unfold. Your hands grip the steering wheel tighter, your jaw clenches, your stomach churns. In that moment, you're not just experiencing traffic, you're suffering through it. But what if I told you that your suffering isn't coming from the traffic at all? What if I told you that all that stress, all that anxiety, all that frustration, it's coming from how much you care about something you cannot control? This is where our journey begins. This is where we start to unravel one of life's greatest paradoxes. The more deeply we care about things we cannot control, the more we suffer. And the more we suffer, the less capable we become of handling life's challenges with grace and wisdom. I remember sitting by the ocean one evening, watching the waves crash against the shore. Wave after wave, relentless and powerful, yet the shore remained unmoved, untroubled. It didn't care about the force of the waves. It simply was. And in that moment, I understood something profound about human suffering and freedom. You see, we've been conditioned since childhood to care deeply about everything. Care about what others think, care about the future, care about the past, care about success, care about failure, care about time, care about money, care about status. And while caring isn't inherently bad, our attachment to outcomes we cannot control has become a prison of our own making. Think about the last time you lay awake at night, your mind spinning with worries about tomorrow. In those dark hours, were you able to control what would happen the next day? But you cared so much about potential outcomes that you sacrificed your peace, your rest, and your well-being on the altar of concern. This is the trap we've all fallen into. We believe that caring intensely about something will somehow give us control over it. But here's the truth that will set you free. Caring about things you cannot control is like trying to stop the rain by worrying about it. It's not only futile, it's exhausting. I want you to understand something crucial. When I say do not care, I'm not advocating for apathy. I'm not suggesting you should abandon your goals, your relationships, or your responsibilities. What I'm inviting you to consider is a radical shift in how you relate to life itself. Imagine you're playing a game of chess. You can care about playing well, about making strategic moves, about staying focused. These are things within your control. But can you control whether you win or lose? Not entirely. Your opponent has a say in that. So why sacrifice your peace of mind caring about an outcome that isn't fully yours to determine? This is the art of selective caring. The wisdom to distinguish between what's within your control and what isn't. And it's this distinction that holds the key to your liberation. Let me share something powerful with you. Every time you find yourself in a state of distress, ask yourself this simple question: is what I'm caring about right now within my control? If it isn't, you have just discovered an opportunity to pray. But here's where many people misunderstand this teaching. They think not caring means becoming passive, withdrawn, or disconnected from life. Nothing. When you stop caring about what you cannot control, you free up tremendous energy to focus on what you can control. Your actions, your responses, your attitude. Think of it like a garden. You can care about planting the seeds, watering them, ensuring they get sunlight. These are all within your control. But can you control whether a storm comes and damages your plants? Can you control whether every seed sprouts? Can you control the exact size and shape of each flower? Of course not. The wise gardener knows this and finds peace in doing what they can while accepting what they cannot influence. This acceptance, this profound letting go, is where true power lies. Because when you stop exhausting yourself trying to control the uncontrollable, you discover a wellspring of energy, clarity, and peace that transforms how you move through the world. I've seen this transformation in countless lives. People who were once consumed by anxiety about the future, now living fully in the present. People who used to lose sleep over others' opinions, are moving through life with quiet confidence. People who are paralyzed by fear of failure, now taking bold action because they've learned a secret. Whatever happens, do not care. But let me be clear, this isn't something you achieve overnight. It's a practice, a journey, a moment-by-moment choice to release your grip on what you cannot control. And like any profound change, it begins with awareness. Start noticing how much of your daily stress comes from caring about things you cannot influence. Notice how often your peace is disturbed by thoughts about what might happen, what others might think, what could go wrong. In these moments of awareness, you have a choice. Continue caring and suffer, or practice the art of letting go. Remember, every master was once a beginner. Every journey starts with a single step, and your journey toward freedom begins the moment you decide to stop caring about what you cannot control. As we continue this exploration together, I want you to hold on to this truth. Your power lies not in controlling life, but in controlling your response to life. And the first step in mastering your response is learning when to care and when to let go. The path ahead may not be easy. You'll face moments of doubt. Old habits will try to reassert themselves, and there will be times when caring about the uncontrollable feels safer than letting go. But I promise you, this is each time you choose to release your attachment to outcomes you cannot control. You move closer to a freedom that most people only dream of. You know, there's something fascinating about children at play. Have you ever watched them fully immersed in their imagination? They don't care about how they look. They don't worry about whether they're doing it right. They're simply present, fully alive in the moment. Somewhere along the way, we lost that natural state of being. We became burdened by the weight of caring about everything. And I mean everything. Let me share something profound with you. The universe operates in perfect harmony without our constant concern. The stars don't worry about their brightness. The ocean doesn't fret about its depth. The mountains don't compare their heights. They simply are. And in that simple beingness lies a wisdom we've forgotten. Now, some of you might be thinking, but isn't caring what makes us human? Isn't it what drives us to achieve great things? And yes, there's truth in that, but there's a crucial difference between conscious choosing and compulsive caring. One empowers us. The other enslaves us. Think about this. How many of your daily worries actually serve you? How many of your anxieties have ever changed an outcome? How many nights of sleep lost to concern have actually solved the problem? When you really examine it, you'll find that most of your caring is not only unnecessary, it's counterproductive. I want to share with you 3 powerful truths about the art of not caring. These aren't just ideas to think about. They're gateways to a new way of being. The first truth is, your worth is not determined by outcomes. Society has programmed us to believe that our value is tied to our achievements, our possessions, our status. But that's a lie that keeps us trapped in constant anxiety. You are worthy right now, exactly as you are. When you truly understand this, you'll stop caring about proving your worth to others. Imagine walking into a room and not caring what others think of you. Not in an arrogant way, but in a deeply peaceful way. Imagine the freedom of showing up exactly as you are, knowing that others' opinions can't add to or subtract from your interest. This isn't just possible. It's your natural state once you shed the layers of conditioning that tell you to care about everyone's approval. The second truth is even more liberates. Most things you worry about are not your business. Yes, you heard that right. We've developed a habit of caring about things that aren't ours to care about. Other people's choices, not your business. The weather, not your business. The past, not your business. The future, believe it or not, even that's not entirely your business. Your business is this moment right here, right now. Your business is your response to what life presents. Everything else is just noise that disturbs your peace if you let it. When you truly grasp this, you'll find yourself carrying a lighter load through life. And here's the third truth, perhaps the most powerful of all. Not caring is different from not doing. This is crucial to understand. You can take action without being emotionally attached to the outcome. You can pursue goals without letting them define you. You can love without needing to control. You can give without expecting anything in return. Think of it like this. A surgeon doesn't operate while emotionally overwhelmed about the outcome. They remain calm, focused, and present to what needs to be done. They care about their actions, their precision, their presence, but they don't let concern about the outcome paralyze them or cloud their judgment. This is the state of enlightened action we're aiming for. It's about moving through life with purpose, but without attachment. It's about giving your best while releasing your grip on results. Let me tell you something important. This journey of learning not to care requires courage. It requires the courage to let go of familiar patterns, even when those patterns are causing you pain. It requires the courage to stand in your truth, even when others don't understand. It requires the courage to be misunderstood, to be different, to be free. I've seen people transform their lives completely when they grasp this truth. Relationships heal because they stop trying to control their partners. Careers flourish because they stop being paralyzed by fear of failure. Health improves because they stop carrying the weight of unnecessary concern. For the next week, keep a caring journal. Write down everything you find yourself caring about throughout the day. Then next to each item, ask yourself 3 questions. Can I control this? Is this actually my business? Does caring about this serve my highest good? You'll be amazed at how much of your mental and emotional energy is being wasted on things that don't pass these 3 tests. But there's something even more powerful that happens when you master the art of not caring. You become truly available to life. When you're not consumed by worry about the future or regret about the past, you can fully show up for the present moment. And it's only in the present moment that real living happens. Think about the times in your life when you felt most alive, most free, most authentically yourself. I bet those weren't moments when you were wrapped up in concern about things you couldn't control. They were moments when you were fully present, fully engaged with what was right in front of you. That's the gift of not caring. It returns you to the natural state of being that you knew as a child. It reconnects you with the wisdom that was always within you. It frees you to live with spontaneity, joy, and authentic power. This teaching isn't about becoming invulnerable. It's not about building walls or becoming cold. It's about developing a wise heart that knows where to invest its energy and where to practice loving detachment. You can care deeply about your purpose while releasing attachment to how it unfolds. You can love profoundly while giving others the freedom to be themselves. You can work with dedication while remaining unattached to recognition or reward. When you stop caring about what you cannot control, you become more powerful in the areas where you can make a difference. When you release your grip on outcomes, you become more effective in your actions. When you stop trying to control everything, life begins to flow through you in miraculous ways. There's a story about a wise teacher who was known for his unshakable peace. One day, a student asked him, "How do you maintain such serenity when the world is full of chaos?" The teacher smiled and said, "I never argue with what is." Such profound wisdom in such simple words. And that's exactly what we're exploring together. The art of not arguing with what is. You see, most of our suffering comes from this constant argument with reality. We care so deeply about how things should be that we miss the beauty and opportunity of how things are. We're so busy caring about our mental image of perfection that we become blind to the perfection that exists in this moment, exactly as it is. Let me share something powerful with you. The moment you stop caring about things being different than they are, you tap into a source of power that most people never discover. It's the power of total acceptance. Not passive resignation, but dynamic acceptance that allows you to respond to life from a place of clarity rather than reaction. Think about the most successful people you know. Not just financially successful, but those who radiate a sense of peace and purpose. Look closely, and you'll notice something fascinating. They're not constantly racked with concern about things they can't control. They've mastered the art of directing their energy where it can make a difference while remaining unattached to outcomes. Some of you might be thinking, but what about injustice in the world? What about things that need to change? Shouldn't we care about those things? This is where we need to understand the difference between conscious awareness and emotional attachment. You can be aware of injustice without letting it consume you. You can take action to create change without being emotionally hijacked by the situation. In fact, you'll be more effective in creating positive change when you're not overwhelmed by caring about things you can't immediately control. When you see something in the world that needs to change, instead of getting lost in anxiety or anger about the whole situation, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do right now? Maybe it's educating yourself. Maybe it's having a conversation. Maybe it's making a small change in your own life. Focus your energy there rather than caring about the entire problem all at once. This brings us to a crucial understanding. The art of not caring is really the art of wise discernment. It's about knowing where to invest your emotional energy and where to practice detachment. It's about understanding that you can take action without being attached to the out. Think of it like this. A skilled archer focuses entirely on their form, their breath, their aim. They don't waste energy caring about whether the arrow will hit the target. They know that attachment to the outcome will only disturb their focus. We should approach life. All presence in our actions. Zero attachment to outcomes we can't control. But here's where many people get stuck. They think letting go of caring means letting go of standards or ambition. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you stop caring about things you can't control, you actually become more effective in pursuing excellence in areas where you can make a difference. Imagine running a marathon. You can care about your training, your preparation, your mindset. These are things within your control. But caring about the weather on race day, what other runners are doing, or whether you'll hit your exact target time, that's wasted energy that could be better spent on your actual running. This principle applies to every area of life. In relationships, stop caring about controlling your partner's behavior and focus on being the best partner you can be. In your career, stop caring about office politics and focus on delivering excellence in your work. In your personal growth, stop caring about how long it takes to reach your goals and focus on taking consistent action. The less you care about what you can't control, the more energy you have for what you can influence. It's like closing all the unnecessary programs running in the background of your computer. Suddenly you have so much more processing power for what really matters. But let me be clear about something. This isn't about becoming passive or indifferent. It's about becoming selective with your emotional investment. It's about understanding that your peace is too precious to be disturbed by things that are not yours to control. Think about how much mental and emotional energy you spend caring about things, what people think about you, whether someone will approve of your choices, how your life compares to others, whether you're progressing fast enough, what might go wrong in the future, what went wrong in the past. Now imagine redirecting all that energy toward things you can actually influence. How you treat yourself and others, the quality of your work, the development of your skills, the clarity of your communication, the authenticity of your actions, the presence you bring to each moment. This is where true power lies. Not in trying to control everything, but in wisely choosing where to invest your energy. The art of not care aspect of this teaching. The art of not caring actually makes you more compassionate, not less. When you're not consumed by your own worries and attachments, you have more capacity to truly see and understand others. You become more present, more available, more able to offer genuine support without getting emotionally entangled. Have you ever noticed how the most genuinely helpful people are often those who maintain a certain emotional equilibrium? They care about helping, but they don't get overwhelmed by the situation. This allows them to remain clear-headed and effective in their support. Mary Box of Wise Carry. When you stop caring about everything, you become more capable of caring deeply about what truly matters. When you release your attachment to outcomes, you become more effective in creating positive change. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you discover your true power. As we move forward in this journey together, I want you to start practicing this wisdom in small ways. Start with situations that don't trigger intense emotional responses. Practice not caring about small inconveniences, traffic, weather, minor delays. Notice how much lighter you feel when you stop arguing with what is. Then gradually apply this to bigger areas of your life. Notice how much clearer your thinking becomes when you stop caring about things you can't control. Notice how much more effective your actions become when they're not clouded by unnecessary concern. You know what fascinates me? The way water shapes stone, not through force or struggle, but through consistent, gentle persistence. Water doesn't care about how hard the stone is. It doesn't care about how long it will take. It simply flows, and in that flowing, it creates magnificent canyons and valleys. There's a profound lesson here about the power of not caring combined with consistent action. Let's talk about something that many of you are experiencing right now, even as we speak. Some of you are sitting there listening intently, but there's a part of your mind that's caring about whether you're getting this right, caring about whether you'll be able to apply these teachings perfectly, caring about whether you'll remember everything being said. And in that caring, you're actually missing the deep truth being shared in this moment. This is the beautiful irony of transformation. The moment you stop caring about whether you're transforming correctly is often the moment real transformation begins, because true change doesn't come from forcing or striving. It comes from allowing. It's a truth that might shake you. Everything you want in life becomes more accessible when you stop caring about getting it. This sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? But the deepest truths often are paradoxical. When you stop caring about finding love, you become more lovable. When you stop caring about success, you become more successful. When you stop caring about peace, you become more peaceful. Why does this work? Because when you stop caring about outcomes, you start showing up more authentically. You stop trying to manipulate situations. You stop trying to control how others perceive you. You simply are. And in that authentic beingness, you naturally attract what aligns with your true nature. Let me share something profound about the nature of not caring. It's not a destination. It's a moment-by-moment practice. Every situation that triggers you is an invitation to practice. Every person who pushes your buttons is a teacher. Every circumstance that makes you want to control outcomes is an opportunity to let go. Think about the last time you were in a situation that really triggered you. Maybe it was criticism at work. Maybe it was a relationship challenge. Maybe it was a personal setback. Now imagine approaching that same situation with the attitude of whatever happens, I do not care. Not with resignation or defeat, but with a profound understanding that your peace is more valuable than your need to control outcomes. This brings us to a crucial aspect of this teaching: the relationship between not caring and personal power. Most people think power comes from controlling things, situations, people, outcomes, but true power comes from being so grounded in your own being that you don't need to control anything. Imagine being in a meeting where everyone is tense about a project's outcome, while others are caught up in anxiety and concern. You remain centered, focused only on what you can control, your preparation, your contribution, your presence. This is power, not the power of control, but the power of conscious choice. Here's another dimension of this teaching that often gets overlooked. The art of not caring is actually an expression of profound trust. Trust in the intelligence of life. Trust in the unfolding of events. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Think about how much energy you spend trying to prevent things from going wrong. All that mental rehearsal of potential problems. All that emotional investment in preventing possible pain. What if you could trust that whatever happens, you'll handle it? What if you could trust that life is not happening to you, but for you? This trust doesn't mean you become passive or irresponsible. Instead, it means you act from a place of clarity rather than fear. You make decisions based on wisdom rather than worry. You move through life with grace rather than grip. Next time you find yourself caught in the grip of caring about something you can't control, pause and ask yourself, what would trust look like in this situation? Not blind trust, but intelligent trust in your ability to handle whatever unfolds. This brings us to another crucial understanding: the relationship between not caring and presence. When you stop caring about things you can't control, you naturally become more present to what's actually happening right now. And it's only in this presence that real living happens. Think about how much of your life is spent in mental projection about the future or mental regression about the past. All that caring about What might happen or what has happened robs you of the only moment you can actually live. This one right here, right now. Here's where many people misunderstand this teaching. They think not caring means not being prepared. Nothing could be further from the truth. You can prepare thoroughly while remaining unattached to outcomes. You can plan wisely while staying open to whatever actually unfolds. Imagine planning an outdoor event. You can check the weather forecast, have a backup plan, prepare for various scenarios, all while maintaining the attitude of whatever happens, I do not care. This doesn't mean you don't take appropriate action. It means you don't get emotionally entangled with outcomes you can't control. This brings us to one of the most powerful aspects of this teaching, the relationship between not caring and creativity. When you stop caring about outcomes, you free up enormous creative energy. When you're not bound by concern about how things should be, you become available to see how things could be. Think about children at play again. Their creativity flows freely because they don't care about getting it right. They're not concerned about whether their art looks realistic or whether their stories make logical sense. They're simply expressing what flows through them. This same creative freedom is available to you in every area of your life when you master the art of not caring. Your relationships become more authentic because you stop caring about maintaining a certain image. Your work becomes more innovative because you stop caring about following conventional paths. Your entire life becomes more of an adventure because you stop caring about staying within the bounds of what's normal or expected. The less you care about what you can't control, the more intuitive you become. When your mind isn't clouded by unnecessary concern, you can hear the quiet voice of wisdom within. You can sense what's truly right for you, rather than being driven by anxiety about what might happen. This intuitive wisdom is your birthright, but it gets buried under layers of caring about things that aren't yours to care about. As you practice letting go of what you can't control, you'll find this inner knowing becoming clearer and more reliable. As we move toward the close of our time together, I want to share something deeply personal with you. The greatest freedom I've ever experienced came not from achieving more or controlling more, but from letting go. From learning, moment by moment, to say those transformative words. Whatever happens, I do not care. But remember, this journey we're on isn't about reaching some perfect state where nothing bothers you. It's about developing a new relationship with life itself. It's about understanding that your peace, your power, and your presence are too precious to be disturbed by things you cannot control. Think about the ocean for a moment. On the surface, waves crash and storm clouds gather. But deep beneath the surface, there's absolute stillness. This is what we're cultivating. Not a life without storms, but an unshakable inner stillness that remains untouched by the surface turbulence of life. This brings us to a profound truth about the art of not caring. It's actually the highest form of self-love. When you stop caring about things you can't control, you're saying to yourself, my peace matters. My well-being matters. My presence matters. You're choosing yourself, not in an egotistical way, but in a deeply spiritual way. Let me share with you the 5 pillars of mastering the art of not caring. These aren't just concepts to understand. They're practices to embody. The first pillar is discernment. This is about developing the wisdom to know what's yours to care about and what isn't. It's about understanding the difference between what you can influence and what you must accept. This discernment doesn't come from thinking. It comes from quiet observation of your own experience. The second pillar is trust. Trust in the intelligence of life. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes. Trust that everything that happens is either an opportunity for growth or an invitation to let go. This trust isn't blind faith. It's based on the evidence of your own life experience. The third pillar is presence. When you stop caring about the future and the past, you naturally fall into the present moment. And it's only in the present moment that you have any real power. Your power isn't in what might happen or what has happened. It's in what you choose right now. The fourth pillar is action. Remember, not caring doesn't mean not doing. It means acting from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. It means doing what needs to be done without being attached to outcomes. It means giving your best while releasing your grip on results. And the fifth pillar is freedom. This is the freedom that comes from knowing that you're worth your peace and your power don't depend on outcomes. This is the freedom of being fully yourself without needing approval or validation. This is the freedom of living life on your own terms. The teaching will be tested. Life will present you with situations that seem to demand your emotional investment. People will try to pull you into their drama. Circumstances will appear to require your concern. These are not obstacles to your practice. They are your practice. Every time you feel overwhelmed by caring about something you can't control, remember this. You are not your concerns. You're not your worries. You're not your attachments. You are the awareness that can observe all these things and choose peace instead. Think about all the energy you'll reclaim when you stop caring about whether people understand you, whether your path looks like others, whether you're moving fast enough, whether you're doing it right, whether things will work out as planned. Imagine channeling all that reclaimed energy and being fully present in your relationships, creating work that matters to you, taking care of your well-being, pursuing what truly calls you, serving others from a place of peace. This is the revolution we're talking about. Not a revolution of outer circumstances, but a revolution of consciousness. A revolution that begins the moment you decide that your peace is more important than your need to control outcomes. Let me share one final truth with you. The art of not caring is really the art of sacred detachment. It's about being fully engaged with life while remaining free from the need to control it. It's about giving your best while staying unattached. It's about loving fully while allowing others their complete freedom. As you leave here today, I want you to remember this. Every moment of your life is an opportunity to practice this profound truth. Every challenging situation is an invitation to remember. Whatever happens, I do not care. Not with coldness, but with the warm wisdom of knowing that your peace is your power. Start small. Practice with the little things you traffic, whether minor inconveniences. Notice how much lighter you feel when you stop arguing with what is. Then gradually apply this to bigger areas of your life. Watch how your relationships transform when you stop trying to control them. Notice how your work flows when you stop caring about constant validation. Remember, this journey isn't about reaching some perfect state of detachment. It's about developing a new relationship with life itself. It's about finding freedom not in controlling circumstances, but in releasing your need for control. You already have everything you need for this journey. Your peace is already within you. Your power is already present. Your freedom is already available. All you need to do is stop caring about what isn't yours to control. So I invite you right here, right now, to make a choice to value your peace above your need to control, a choice to trust life more than your fears, a choice to be free rather than right. Remember, the waves will still come, the storms will still gather, but you can be like the depths of the ocean, unstirred, untroubled, at peace, because you've discovered the ultimate truth. Whatever happens, you do not. And in that not caring, you found your true power, your true presence, your true peace. This is your moment. This is your invitation. This is your freedom. Whatever happens, do not care. And in that not caring, discover who you truly are.